Hey guys, today we're going to be going over how to beat the Pantheon of the Night um, challenge and in Hollow Knight, and this is the fourth Pantheon. It's definitely one of the hardest challenges in the game. So first off, you want to be at 9 masks for this and get all the vessel fragments as well. Of course, you can try this without getting all the mask and vessel fragments, but it'll just make it harder, so I recommend doing so. For charms, for the first half of the fight, we're going to go with Unbreakable Strength, so you do more damage. Marker Pride, because it allows you to get hits off you usually wouldn't be able to get off. Defender's Crest, because it's really good for the Lost Kin fight, because it'll kill the infection bubbles and means that you can get heals off and be more aggressive in that fight. Grub Song is great because we're going to take an aggressive approach to the first half. Because we can get through it really quickly, and that's why we take Quick Slash, so we can attack more, and Grub Song means that we can get more soul as we're taking damage, which allows us to get more heals off, or allows us to heal more, I should say. And so that's the setup. For the second half of the fight, we'll be taking Marker Pride and Unbreakable Strength, but we will be not taking Defender's Crest, Grub Song, Quick Slash. Instead, we'll be taking Unbreakable Heart, Thorns of Agony, and also Sharp Shadow. So the reason why we're taking these ones is because the second set of charms is geared towards the final boss fight, because that's by far the hardest part of this Pantheon, which is Pure Vessel, and so that's why it's geared towards that. We keep Unbreakable Strength and Marker Pride because this is so we can beat the boss quicker. This is so that we can get hits off we usually can't get off. And then Quick Slash we get rid of because it is pretty unlikely you can get multiple hits off on him anyway, and you can't really just spam against him. So Quick Slash isn't great. Grub Song is actually viable to keep. I did consider keeping it over Thorns of Agony. Pretty much whether you take Grub Song or Thorns of Agony or not depends on whether you're getting hit in melee range a lot or whether you're getting hit by ranged attacks. If you're getting hit by melee range, then Thorns of Agony has more value. If you're getting hit by ranged attacks, then I'd take Grub Song. And also, I guess if you can get more spells off in the fight, then I would take Grub Song because it just will give you more soul. But to be honest, the amount of spell opportunities I found was quite limited. I really only go for Shade Soul in the focus attack. I'm sure there's actually a lot more spell opportunities, but it broke up my rhythm, so I really only went for it during that attack where I'm kind of safe to do so, and it won't break up my rhythm. So that's why I don't take Grub Song, but definitely a viable alternative to Thorns of Agony for the fight. And yeah, we take Unbreakable Heart because essentially it'll allow us to get more masks, and this pretty much means that we'll just be tankier for the fight. It allows us to make more mistakes, and then Sharp Shadow is really good for the failed champion fight, but we also take it for the boss fight because you can dash through him if he gets too close to you and you're kind of stuck in a corner, for example. And it also allows you, it doesn't say here, but Sharp Shadow also increases the range of Shadow Dash, and so that allows you to reach him during his spear attack and actually get a hit off. So, I mean, you might be able to get a hit off during the spear attack if you're close enough, but this definitely increases your likelihood. So that's what we're running for the second half. But let's get into the first half. So pretty much the first half we're just going to be spamming attacks and trying to get through it as quickly as possible. The first fight is Enraged Guardian. All his attacks do 2 hits. He has this kind of laser beam attack. He also has a jump attack, or it's not really an attack, but a jump move where he just jumps in the air like you saw him do. And then he also has this attack where he will just kind of yell, and then lasers will come from the ceiling. Those are the only 3 attacks he has, and he's really, really quick to beat. It's definitely probably the easiest boss. If you take a bit of hits from it, that fight, that's fine. You can make up for it in this fight because Defender's Crest is really strong in this fight. You can kind of just go super aggro on him and heal up during the stagger. And this guy only has like a few attacks as well. He has this one where he just jumps around. He also has this one where he jumps up and then dashes, and then he has another one where he will go on the ground and dash like that, which you can just shade dash through like I just did. But this one, to be honest, you don't even really need to know his attacks, because you can just tank him and just go super aggro on him, and you can take him out really quick, because Defender Crest just makes this fight a joke. It's probably one of the like rare times it's actually a good charm, but yeah. Next fight is this fight where it's just a ghost, and they send through it pretty much just there's just a bunch of ghosts, and the only way you can take damage, he doesn't actually have any attacks. Essentially, the only way you can take damage is if you get hit by a ghost, like I just did, or the other way is if you just land on her, for example. But yeah, other than that, she's really easy. It's actually a very chill fight compared to all the other fights in this Pantheon. You can just take your time with it. There's no rush. You can heal down here. There is a chance the ghost could hit you down there, but I find it's like pretty unlikely. Most of the time you'll be able to get heals off there, so that's where I heal. And yeah, there's not much else to say for this fight. There's not much to it. Not too tanky. As you can see, I'm better there. And this is a good fight if you're patient with it to build up soul if you lost a lot of soul in the previous fight. But but usually you can get enough. So this is Trader Lord. All his attacks. The main one you have to watch out for is this one, because you can't. The only way you can dodge it is by shadow dashing. So you saw that he did actually two, and essentially I decided to. So if he does two in a row, then you might need to run back a bit to wait for your shade dash to recharge, like this. But other than that, he just has an attack where he charges at you like this, and that's pretty easy to dodge. He also has this one where he jumps up in the air, and also that's easy to dodge. He doesn't really have any other attacks. Make sure at the end of each boss fight you heal up to 4 or as much as you possibly can. How much you can actually heal up to kind of depends on the boss. Some die quicker than others, but just pretty much just heal until as much as you can. Even when the screen is like fading, the heal will still go off, so there's actually quite a bit of leeway. This is the Dung Defender Dream version, White Defender, and you can just spam against him. He's really easy to take out. He has this attack where, to be honest, it doesn't really matter what attacks he has, because you can just go super aggro on him. In terms of healing, usually I just heal wherever, and it usually works out. Like, you get quite a lot of uptime to heal on this fight. When he does this beating chest thing, if you have enough health, you can just, because this is the last fight before the halfway point where you get a bench and can rest, you can just go super aggro on him and just start spamming him and like not care about getting hit. But this one's really easy actually, if you just go on the aggressive. Now we rest on the bench and we switch our charms over. Now if you have 40 charms, you can buy from Sabrina's shop a blessing for 800 gold, so it's pretty cheap actually, or not that expensive, and every time you rest a bench, it will heal your soul up to full. Now this is really valuable at this point because it means that you can start the second stage with full soul, and particularly that's valuable because Failed Champion doesn't give you much soul. He only gives you about 1 healing's worth of soul, because the only time you get soul from him is when you hit his head. There is a cheese strat you can do with hitting his armor and dream nailing him to start after each stagger with full soul and full health. But if you know the fight, you don't need to do that. So we're going to take off Defender's Crest, Grub Song, Quick Slash like we said, and we're going to put on Thorns of Agony, Unbreakable Heart, and Sharp Shadow. Now, I have the Unbreakable versions of these charms, but actually I think you can do this with the Fragile versions. I don't think they will break, because this is a dream fight. I think the only dream fights where they break are like White Palace and also another fight. I won't say what fight, but because I don't want to give any spoilers. But those are like the two places. But yeah, for this fight, you should be fine with the fragile versions of these charms. I just had upgraded them because I had a lot of geo to spend. Now, for this next fight, I actually was a bit tricky for me. I had to practice against the statue, so that was another thing. If you're struggling with any of these fights, the room below these pantheons, there's a room where you can go in and you can fight any boss by going up to their statue. And if you want to fight the dream version of that boss, you can dream now the statue. If you want to fight an alternative version of the boss, like maybe, for example, the second fight of Hornet, that's not a dream version, then you can just regular nail it. And it's a great way to practice an individual boss that you're getting stuck on. It's more time efficient than just redoing the Pantheon and getting up to that point, because if it's a specific boss you're getting stuck on, then there's no point getting through all the other bosses before them when you're already good at those fights, right? So that's my suggestion. I do suggest it for the final boss fight because it'll take you a while to pick up, so I would suggest just as soon as I think you need to encounter a boss for the statue to show up, so you might need to actually reach Pure Vessel, the final boss, to practice against him. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. But let's go on to the next half. This is Failed Champion. He pretty much has 3 moves. So he'll either jump towards you like this, and you can dash under him and start hitting him. He'll if he jumps back, it means he'll do the shockwave attack, and if he stands still like he just did, he will also do the shockwave attack. But yeah, usually I just dash under him like this. You have to watch out for the falling rocks, but I found that, and you can usually get like a couple of hits off. I only got 1 there, but you can get a couple of hits off when he goes up to do that kind of slam attack where all the rocks fall down. And you can actually, you saw before, you can actually hit the rocks at him. I should have dodged out of that one. But yeah, just be patient with this one. And you'll get him. You see, actually, potentially, based on where you dash, you can actually get an extra hit of damage off with your Sharp Shadow. And this is one of the fights. Oh, I dashed a bit early there. This is one of the fights where Sharp Shadow is really useful because of the extra range it gives you on your dash. Oh, that's kind of weird. He like got his stagger. Whoops. I kind of fucked up there by not getting a heal fully off. I wasted some soul. This was a pretty bad fight from me, to be honest. Usually I'm a bit cleaner with this fight. And it's not put me in a great position soul-wise or health-wise. But even so, shouldn't be a problem. I just need to play these next fights a bit like clean. So this one, he pretty much has this shield which spins around him and will do damage if it hits you, this dream shield, and then he has the spears which you just need to dodge. That's all there is to it. When he does the attack where he just makes his shield wider, that's when you can go in for that's when you can heal, sorry. And when you get him low enough, he'll start having 2 shields and sending 2 spears at you, and that's really all there is to this fight. You can kind of go aggro on this fight, but I think, to be honest, I actually just prefer taking it nice and easy, especially as I didn't have a great failed champion fight. But yeah, the spears, you just got to keep an eye on them. Just be patient with this fight, and you'll get him. Um, he doesn't have any other stage other than, like, this is his final stage. So, but yeah, this is about how well I usually do against him. But obviously, if you're more patient than me, you can take less damage. Here's the next fight. Next fight is these I don't know really what they're called, but these Watcher Knights. So they have two attacks. Either they'll do that attack where they'll just hit at you like that, or they'll do this roll attack, which there's like variations of it. Sometimes they'll just roll straight at you. Sometimes they'll kind of do a jump. So you can pogo off them when they do that. You can also shade dash through them, and it'll actually do a point of damage. But yeah, obviously they're invulnerable when they're in this ball state, so there's no point trying to attack them like normally. Whoops. Again, patience and endurance is the key for this one. I would save your shade dash unless you really need it, because sometimes they'll kind of fight in a way, or like line up in a way where it's like really hard to dodge. Okay. There are healing opportunities here, particularly as you kill one. There's like a healing opportunity, but other than that, I wouldn't say there's a safe healing opportunity. If you try heal, like when there's two on the board, and you're kind of just playing with RNG a bit. If there's one on the board, you probably can get away with a heal as long as you time it right. But that was pretty aggro from me. Sometimes I get a bit impatient, but as you can see, like there, like I didn't really have much of a choice but to shadow dash due to the way things lined up. Again, there as well, I was kind of in an awkward spot. That was a greedy heal. But yeah, other than that, there's not really much to this fight. I'm in an okay spot now. I managed to heal my mask back up to full after that kind of weak start to the half and the second half, I mean. And I've got, this is the Soul Tyrant. Again, patience is key for this fight, because he'll just teleport around and sometimes you can't get a hit on him for a while. So for his attacks, he has this one where he dives into the ground. Sometimes he'll do a fake out when he does it, so be wary of that. He has this one. This is your chance to heal as well after that attack's done. And the way I deal with that attack is I pretty much will get an upper hit on him, and then I will just dash through the ball. And it's a really consistent way to beat that move. Other than that, he has this move where he just runs it along the ground, and you can just poke off the top of him and sometimes get an extra hit in as well from his side, like this. And then you can get an extra hit in sometimes like that if you're precise enough. I think you would probably need Marker Pride to get that one off, I imagine. And yeah, other than that, he has this move, I guess it's pretty simple. He just teleports around and fires balls at you. So yeah, I messed up the timing of that one. But yeah, other than that, when you take him out, it's like a fake death, and then he'll come back, and he will just start diving into the ground repeatedly. That's one of his moves, and then the other move he'll do is he will just shoot balls at you, but he'll stand still, and that's where you can really wail on him and get a lot of damage off. But you need to be careful not to try not to get hit by the balls. So just work on that. But you can kind of wail on him for a bit, and then as you feel the balls getting closer, you can just what's the word? You can just shade dash through it. So or shadow dash through it. I mean. But yeah, other than that, there's not much to this fight. I guess I'm saying that about every fight, but yeah, that's all there is, moves-wise. You just want to make sure you do well enough in this fight that that you have full mass, that you can heal up to full um, before the final boss fight, just to maximize your chance of beating him. So this is where you can kind of wail on him. But yeah, make sure that you dodge out of the balls. But this one you just okay. I was kind of not sure what I was doing there just before, but you can kind of what was I going to say? You just dash pretty much as he's coming out for the dash attack. You can't really get any attacks in, so as he's just dashing down, you just dash out of the way. Now, if you're not left with much soul like me, like I already have half a vessel right now, it's fine. Actually, you can easily beat this boss, or maybe not easily, right? But you can beat this boss with no soul, because as I said, this isn't a spell build. There's not many opportunities to get spells off, so the amount of soul you have coming in doesn't really matter. At most, it maybe will allow you to get like one more shade soul off during the focus attack based on the strategy I do. So yeah, now to talk about the strategy before I go into the fight, he pretty much has 3 attacks here. I have triple slash, where he'll run to you and go and slash 3 times. For this one, you want to so before he does all his attacks, you should jump up and a bit to the left. This is because most of his attacks I didn't mean to show you this dialogue. This is because most of his attacks are on the ground, and even the ones that are on the air, you can deal with them, and I'll let you know how. But essentially, that's a really consistent strategy. So if he's going a triple, so if you would start your jump like this, he would start doing his triple slash, and you would pogo off his head, and then you can fall to either side of him, and then you can get a hit off on his side. Usually, if he parries it, sometimes he'll have a parry stance, and if you accidentally hit him during his parry stance, he'll go for a parry, and if that happens, you should dash through him, not away from him, because if you dash away from him, there's a chance you might be able to get out, but that's only if you have enough room from whatever side you dashed from, and also additionally, he still can hit you a lot of the time if you do it, but dashing through him, you should, as long as you time it right, you should always come out unharmed, and you'll get a point of damage off because of Shade Soul, right? So, or because of, sorry, not Shade Soul, because of Sharp Shadow, that charm. Now, his next attack is a lunge attack where he just lunges at you. Again, you can just jump and pogo him and then hit him on the side. He'll have an attack where he'll shoot spears up. You just jump, dash through the spears, and you can get a hit off on him. And then he'll have his attack where he will jump. He'll either jump or he'll teleport, and it will slam into the ground, and all these big white spears will come up, and you have to make sure you're not going to get hit by a spear. The spears are thicker along the ground, so again, I'm usually jumping up and then landing in the right spot, and then you can usually get a head off on him. I find that if you just jump up and to the left a bit, you'll dodge him uh, him throwing himself onto the ground, and then you'll be able to get a hit off like that. Those are his 4 main attacks. When you get him, I think, like to 75% HP or something, after the first stagger anyway, he'll do this focus attack where he'll just do a AoE damage around him, and then he'll have these little AoE damage spheres that you have to dodge, and that's where you get your Shade Soul attack off, which you'll see, and because you have enough time. And then finally you have his Tendrils attack, which only come out, I think, when he's at 25% HP, and for that one you just double jump, dash, and then pogo him downwards. You can probably get a couple of pogos off on him downwards, but I feel it's a little bit risky, so I just go for one. Other than that, the only other thing he does is if you're trying to pogo on him a lot, like if you think that you can kind of get away with just pogoing him and bouncing on the top of his head, he won't allow it. He'll just jump straight up and damage you, so don't get too greedy with the hits, guys. Just take it, be patient, watch, always keep an eye on him, and what attacks he's going to do next. And if you get into a corner and you know you're going to get attacked and you feel you don't have enough time to jump, then just dash through him, not away, because if you're in a corner, then if you dash away, you're just going to get hit anyway, right? So let's do it. Again, I recommend practicing this boss a lot with a statue, because there's no pressure or anything, and you can just learn the fight and learn how to beat him. And I'm not sure why I was doing it there. Maybe just out of habit, because I used to a lot. But I think double jumping, it makes this fight harder. Only time I double jump is for the Tendrils attack, as I said. But other than that, I think doing a big long jump, single jump, is always easier to time. Now there is another strategy people do with this fight where they will, so you can see I can get the soul off here. There is another, that was quite unlucky. Some people try to dash through that attack that he just did, that triple dash one and this one, but the issue with that is, first off, if he does some sort of like this attack, for example, right after doing the triple slash attack, then you'll have no shade dash left, and so you have a decent chance of getting hit there. So now he's at 25% HP, so he's starting to do the Tendrils attack, and you can see, oh, that was bad. So yeah, if you time it wrong for the dash, you'll get hit by it, and if you jump too high, you'll get hit by the spears. So just be aware of that. Oh, I should have healed there. I actually haven't been healing during this fight, but after each stagger, you should be healing. You can get one heal off during the fight. So I mean during each stagger. I, for some reason, wasn't. I think I was just distracted by commentating. So, but yeah, you can always get a heal off after each stagger. But yeah, that's it. That's beating the Pantheon, guys. And it's not easy. It's not easy. I practiced the final boss fight a lot yesterday for a few hours before I managed to get that fight consistent. And yeah, you can see total runtime. That's a bit high actually, because I was explaining how to do this fight. Probably your actual runtime will be more like, I would imagine, like 20 minutes, probably closer to around 20 minutes. So yeah, but that's it, guys, and let me know if you found this video helpful, and good luck in your attempt to beat it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.